Good morning, beautiful NQ. We back at it. Friday. Let's get it. One pair, one strategy, one session. As usual, we go over the strategy rules and profit taking rules. Let's go. So the strategy is supply and demand on the 5-minute time frame. We are scalpers. We are here for a short time, not a long time. I got 3 simple rules. We wait for a break of structure. Rule number 2, wait for price to return to that demand zone or supply zone. And rule number 3 is our entry zone engulfing patterns or break of candles outside of the zone. Profit taking. We want to take the low hanging fruit, the most easiest, desirable profit taking area. That could be a risk reward to 1-to-1 or 1-to-2. We're targeting O highs or O lows and or fair value gaps. That's it. Let's see if we got any news today. We had CPI news at 8:30 for USD. The Forex pairs that really much pertains to. And then 9:45, we have PMI. So something to look out for at 9:45. Let's do a quick review of the trade yesterday. Yesterday, we took an L. We sure did. Took an L, but in hindsight, we learned from our experiences. And when I look back at this yesterday, I knew exactly why we took that L. And it stopped us out and eventually went in our direction. So we weren't wrong. We just had bad timing and we marked up the wrong zone, unfortunately. So normally you want to take the last down close candle before a break of structure. Yesterday, this happened around 10:35. So me mentally already talking and being exhausted, even though there's no excuse, I marked my zone as this candle right here, and then I included this wick. I guess I was just too zoomed in, and I normally zoom out myself, and it should have been this, the zone should have been this last down close candle, because these 2 candles are pretty much right next to each other, but you want to take the largest and the most recent down close candle before it broke structure. And I should have marked out this one. And I totally was just too zoned in and made that mistake. And our entry actually could have, would have, should have, right? This candle came down into the zone, and then we got this engulfing pattern here. Could have had a stop here, and we would have been smooth selling, right? But that's one of those instances where, I just missed it. I dropped the ball on that one. So I was just too focusing in on price action up here, not realizing this is the predominant standout candle, down close candle before it broke our structure to the upside. So that's my bad. We do have amnesia. It would have hit our 1-to-1, which is right here, and then our 1-to-2. I marked up this fair value gap here, which is over here, or gap in price, I should say. Small gap in price. I was like, it might gravitate to that. And it actually did, and it respected it multiple times until it finally broke through. So we are back at all-time highs. I'll leave that because I will do a weekly review. It is 9:18. Obviously, there was that news at 8:30. So you saw that big push for our pre-market people. Obviously, we're in an uptrend from yesterday. We broke all-time highs. Pre-market folks could have gotten in on this. Blue. So if you zoom out, it's the last high, last low, and then it broke that high. So then you will mark up in this scenario these two last down close candles because they're right next to each other. And then news would have hit. So you could have pretty much, this would be the engulfing pattern to get in on right before that news. But I don't trade news. I wait to see what news does when it happens because, again, that's a gamble. It would have worked in your favor here, but that's not something that can be consistently documented as a profitable entry. But let's do a top-down analysis real quick. Today we're starting out bullish. This is Friday. Thursday was bullish. Wednesday, Tuesday, bearish days retracement, and Monday was bullish. So looking promising for taking buys, seeing how we are continuing this uptrend. Hop down to the 1 hour. I'm sorry, the 4 hour. Bullish. On the bullish leg right now, 1 hour. Bullish leg right now from yesterday to today. Man, that was a good trade. I dropped the ball on that zone. Apologies, but hey, we believe it or not, we are still in the green. I have a win on Monday, no trade Tuesday, no trade Wednesday, and then a loss yesterday, and here we are today. So right now, it's going for the moon. We broke all-time highs. Drop down on this 15. Yeah, it's pretty much the same on every time frame, bullish. And here we are on the 5. So for this one, our last was here. Breaker structure was here. So like I said, when I marked up before, last down close candle would be on this here. Tripping. So I would do all 3 of these and include this little, because I'm taking this as a wick, as we normally would, a wick to the downside. All 3 of these candles. So that would be our zone. Rope structure, last down close candle. When we have 3 of them in a row, we're just going to mark all 3. Normally, I will mark that wick on this candle here, but since news came and did this little blip here, we're going to include that. But unless we make another high up here. If we make another high up here, our zone will be all these candles. But that we have to break that high first, so that's not included. All right, that's the analysis. 9:23. Now we wait. While we wait, we can just check out on Euro USD just to see what that did. Oh, I already marked it up this morning. So for Euro USD, break structure right here. Mark down the demand zone. Those 2 consecutive candles. Price comes back, floats around, gives you candles outside of the zone. That breaks outside of the zone where you could have entered on. could have entered here. Definitely could have entered on this candle, an engulfing candle. And then when news popped out, boom, took off. Took off to the races. Took off to the races. Yep, there was 3 entries. Break outside of the zone. An engulfing pattern right here. And then break of this candle right here. So when news came out, which you probably wouldn't have been able to hit it that fast. But break of this candle right here. As soon as it broke that candle, boom. Entry. Let's take a look at US 500. Same thing here. Shallow break. These consecutive last down close candles, including the wick to the upside, and including wicks to the downside. Broke structure, and the engulfing pattern could have entered there. It retraced, engulfing pattern could have entered there. It retraced again, and engulfing pattern could have entered there. It retraced again. So 3 opportunities on this one, but you would have been gambling with news. But it would have been a higher probability to take a buy because we are in an uptrend. US 30. Low, high, low. No, not really no entry here unless you did the minor breaker structure. Low, higher high, higher low. Yeah, I would want to break that. Just to be honest. I mean, you did have minor breaks of structure after a retracement, so you will take the minor break. Why does it say 3? It's here. Consecutive candles in a row. I'm going to include those. The price retraced. Green candle outside of the zone, engulfing. Tapped out the zone again. Break of this candle. And then it was off to the races. Options. But we're going to hop back on NAS. We got 4 minutes until market open. Let's see what it does. We want to retrace all the way back down here, or is it going to continue to go higher? We don't know. We shall see. We shall wait. All right, tea time. Tea time, yes, me. Make this tea. Tea drinkers out there, what's up? Are you a tea drinker or a coffee drinker, and or both? I am both, but I tend to only have coffee like when I'm really tired in the mornings. Tea is a consistent, but coffee really only happens when I'm really tired. Keep it simple, guys. It's Friday. Friday made the high of the week. Normally, I've noticed that Thursday makes the high, but Friday can also make the high. And it looked like it wants to continue versus Friday usually being a retracement day. So we're going to see what the market gives us. It's either going to be a win, a loss, break even, or no trade day. And since we have one win and one loss, we are slightly in the green for the week. So we want to stay in the green for the week. So we need a good, solid A plus setup. Now with this long candle, we gonna see. We will see. Midnight opening price here. I don't have any targets to mark up for this trade other than if it retraces here, try to take out this high because we're in no man's land. So, or we can just go based off of 1-1 is here or 1-2, and then the high will be around a 1-3 risk reward. Taking a sell. Let me take this away. Taking a sell. We are very bullish. I don't even think I would consider a sell. Maybe if it breaks this swing low here on the 1 hour. It will have to break this swing low here on the 1 hour. Yep. For me to even consider SL, to be honest with y'all. Because that means it's breaking higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So I have to break this higher low right here. But for me, this 1 hour seems like a for sure downtrend. So for me to even consider it, especially on a Friday, and if we want to stay in the green and keep our profits, we definitely have to do that for me. It would definitely have to come down and break this low. Trace. And then come down. Other than that, I'm not even going to consider it unless it just melts. And right now, it's melting. Oh, it's 9:30. My apologies. Market open. We open with some sort of gap here, and it's coming down. For now. Just finished making this tea. Tea-man, that's me. Tea of the day is called Winter Wake Up from Trader Joe's. Do that today. Winter Wake Up is the tea of the day. $9.33. Winter Wake Up has black tea, cinnamon, orange peels, licorice, ginger, the dreadful natural flavors. I'm just really trying to get rid of this because I normally don't do natural flavors. And cloves. So a nice, spicy, yet sweet tea. That'll keep you warm during these cold mornings in Atlanta. All right. Opening 5-minute candle went down. But again, we needed to break this high if we want to see a new demand zone. If we want to see a new demand zone, which would be these two down close consecutive candles, and I might have to include that wick. Okay, might give us something off top, right? It's not that yet, guys. We're gonna mark up demand or supply zone until we break structure. What is it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Look like you wanna keep pushing, but will it let us in? Will it let us in? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, look like we might have a break, peoples. Looking like we might have a break. Rule number one, break a structure. Let's go. See what it do. Last dominant down close candle before break a structure. We got these two consecutive candles, and we have a wick that unfortunately we have to include that makes our demand zone a little larger, but it is what it is. So we got our break, guys. Now we just need to retrace back into our zone. The zone is about 60 points. 1 to 1. Somewhere around here. Let's see. We won't make the same mistake we made yesterday choosing the wrong zone, because this one looks like it, but you see how they're all pretty much at the same level? We want to include these consecutive candles because it's pretty much, they're all in cahoots. So I want to take these consecutive candles and look at it as our demand zone. Then I want to include this wick because it got a little frisky during opening. Price got a little frisky. And those of you who might just be tuning in, this box is our demand zone. Only 5 minute time frame. Mm, 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 mm. Do we keep our money on this Friday? Having a no trade day, or is it gonna give us an opportunity to make some money? Or is it gonna leave us? Is the train gonna leave us? Or is it gonna stop back and pick us up? We shall see. We shall see. Real quick, let's see what US 500. I only trade NAS, but I like to look at the other pairs because they correlate. And so this one's pretty much doing the same thing. And US 30 is doing the same thing. Pretty much all of them have the same setups. Same setups. Break structure. Work out the new demand zone. Lowest candle plus that wick on that one. US 500. Same thing. Structure. To the upside. Last down, close candle. We're just gonna make this that one like this. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. They all looking the same. Mm-mm-mm. Get rid of this. So if we get a trade today, we're looking at a lot size of around 8. Again, I'm only risking 1% of a 50K account for 500. So no matter where you have your stop is, you're risking 500, but you change the quantity, aka the lot size, which is here. We're gonna do around 8 if it gives us some action, and then profit taking on a Friday will be just a 1-to-1 wherever we enter. That's it. Keep it simple. Observe, watch. Let's watch price action. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Ooh, okay. Price is coming back. Again, it's Friday, y'all, so we want like a good A+ setup. We want to see some sort of engulfing that looks like this come up out of our zone. These two candles, this bullish engulfing. Here's an original swing. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Nothing like the warmth of tea in the morning. All right, we are losing steam here. Losing steam. And it's not giving us an opportunity right away. Oh, 9:45. We did have news. I'm sorry. 9:45. Totally forgot. Flash PMI. CPI. You saw what happened on CPI. This. PMI, I'm not too much worried about. But always CPI, the news that I personally don't engage with before or after. CPI, don't mess with. Non-farm payroll, NFP, basically. Bruh. There we go. CPI, non-farm payroll. There's one more. FOMC. These three right here, you never want to be in a trade right before or right after. You will get burned on something like this. Imagine if you thought it was going down. Ooh, you would have gotten ripped. All right, I'm giving them retracement. Remember, for this zone to be disqualified, we have to see a candle close outside the zone. A wick I will allow, but even a wick coming out the zone, I'm going to consider to lower my position because the more this gets broken, the less likelihood it will turn in my favor because it shouldn't. If we're super bullish, it shouldn't even break this zone. We gotta tap, y'all. We gotta tap. We gotta tap, y'all. Time to lock in. Time to lock in. Oops, definitely no. See what could happen here. See what could happen here. Friday too, y'all. We still in the green for the week, so we don't have to be anxious. Feel like we have to trade. All right, it's reacting for the most part pretty aggressively. Away from this high. See what it do. See what it do. Candle flipped. 3 minutes left in that candle. Not even going to consider it. Now, if it was like 30 seconds and the candle flipped bullish outside of the zone, yeah, I would definitely consider taking that trade. But candle's still developing. Candle is still developing. Yeah, this position has to look extremely A plus because this was a swing and then it pulled back to 50%, which gives me a little bit more confidence, but 2 minutes left on that candle and it is looking pretty good. 1 minute left on that candle. 2 minutes, I should say. Definitely an opportunity to enter if you wanted to aggressively, but I like to see a little bit less time on that ticker over here. See how I keep flip flopping. Again, gotta remind yourself it's Friday, so don't be too trigger happy. This could be the absolute high for the week. Could be. But who knows with Nash? We'll be all over the place. It's my Buddha. It's my Buddha. 15 seconds. I'm not sold on this candle, guys. I am not sold on that candle. I am not sold on that candle. This could be an entry for sure. Break of this candle. But I'm just not sold on it. I think it's just because it's Friday. I want to stay in the green. That is definitely an entry though. Break of that candle outside of the zone. Candle just started though. Candle just started. See, if it wasn't for this such aggressive move and it was just a regular swing, I would be more confident. But candle just started. I don't want it to get too far away. That is definitely an entry, guys. As it gets further away, your stop gets larger. Stop gets larger. I did not enter. What we could do is paper trade this. I just wasn't confident to take that entry on a Friday. After this big move. We got in here at an 8 piece. Unfortunately, I didn't change a lot on this. My bad. Should have been a 6 piece. No sides. But it might take off. It might rip off. It might rip off. Just 2 minutes left on that candle. So whenever I'm indecisive, I do a paper trade. Or not as confident, I do a paper trade. And like I said, the reason why I'm not confident is because this large push with no candles coming back, I like to see deep retracements. In reference to this swing and breaking this high, it's not that deep of a retracement in my opinion. But it can still play out, but and I wouldn't want just this little move now. This little move presented if you had entered here and then moved your stop tighter. Not part of. You could have gotten. No, you wouldn't even got a 1-to-1 on that. This little baby movement. Your stop about to be below this candle. 1-to-1 is here, but could have made money. This candle is winding down, so it is definitely Still open for a trade. So the higher it goes, 30 seconds, we have to adjust our risk. I want to see what it's closed. It's far away from the zone. I want it to be. All right, so we eventually did get in, but at a lower tick. And then since we got in higher, I'm going to lower my risk and move my stop here. And then the 1-to-1 is around here. Let's see what it do, y'all. I got my 1-to-1 here. Think we're just gonna go for a 1-to-1 on Friday, and then the 1-to-2. You see if it gives this to us. Give us a 1-to-1 Friday. I always put my actual TP. I'm a manually TP here, but the actual TP at 1-to-2 just in case it got frisky. Here I didn't put the correct one on my actual account. I just used, what was it? Six lots. Six lots based on this entry and based on this stop loss. And I also move my stop loss up. So I'm not risking full. The full 500. Will I regret it? Reiterate our rules. Break a structure. This was the last time it broke it. We want the last down closed candle. Since we have all of these in the same vicinity, we're going to take these two last ones and include the wick, mark up our zone. Then we're going to enter on the break of candle outside of the zone or an engulfing, which I should have got. Shoulda, woulda, coulda entered break of this candle. All right, it's wicking a lot here. We are going to wait and see. Stop here, or you can have your stop here. All right, if this next candle doesn't give us a nice push, Give me a little something. Give me a little something. Give us that 1-1. And the week off strong. I was hoping that closed bullish. I was hoping that closed bullish, and it didn't. Which means we have some resistance. It's looking like right now. Yeah, if this was an entry, 1-1, would have almost gotten smacked. This was an entry on this candle. And this is a stop. So 1 to 2. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Come on, let's end this Friday in the green. Come on, come on, come on. End it in the green. And 4-3 on this one. Oh, wait. Look like it's trying to. Come on, give us some juice. Give us some juice. Give us some juice. Almost. Come on. Come on. Come on. Halfway there. Come on back. Halfway there back. Halfway there. Come on. We close. We need you to close. Bullish. Close bullish. Close bullish. Really? 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 That's how you feel? There you go. I need you to make it do what it do. Make it do what it do. Same thing, hesitating. Same thing, hesitating. $10.09. There we go. There we go. Show me that you want to go some places. Show me that you want to go some places. Show me that you want to go some places. It's Friday, so I'm just going for that 1-to-1. Show me that you want to go some places. I'm going based off of this entry, but my entry is actually here. Show me that you want to go some places. Come on, really? There you go. That's not what we want to see. Made a new high, though. That is not what we want to see. It does go down this little gap here. Stay bullish for us. And this Friday off right. We got 2 minutes on this candle. One-to-one would have been hit already if we did the break of this candle outside the zone. Steady. So far, steady. Again, if we get the 1-to-1, we would stop the break even and or take profit. But it's Friday, so we just gonna take profit. Give us that. Come on. You just need to look. You're halfway there. You are definitely halfway there. One minute left. I think I might. Again, y'all can take profit if you want. Some money better than no money. So I'm thinking I'm gonna move my stop. here. Because if it comes back here, I won't come back down to entry price. I need to see some real bullish action from here. Keep the stop tight because I want to end out in the green on a Friday. So I'm going to move it to break even almost. Stop is below this candle right now. I typically don't do that, but it's Friday, so I want to stay in the green for the week. I want to stay in the green for the week. And of course, it will be coming back. Because we already broke all-time high, so this is no man's land. So we just got to take some profit today. No money better than no money, and it hesitated. Hesitate now. If you're gonna push, give us a push. But what I think it's doing, coming back down to this gap. Then we have a fair value gap right here as well. I think it's gonna stop us out though. Yep. All right, some money better than no money. We are stopped out. In the Friday in the green. Let's just see what it does. Let's see what it does. What you gonna do? Again, if you missed that trade, it broke a new high. This will be your large zone, but it's so close to the other one. It's so close to the original one. You might as well just hold steady. If it comes back down and possibly gives you another entry. But it's looking like it wants 2 minutes left on this candle. Actually, let's just keep the original. Original 101 was here. I like to be agile, more agile when it comes to TP taking, as far as moving my stop or taking profit before, versus being agile with my stop. My stop, I got two things. I'm doing the whole zone, a little bit outside the zone, or like in this situation, if you did a break of the candle or the engulfing, you can move it up to that last candle that tapped into the zone. Those are the only two stops I consider. Other than that, as far as profit taking, I don't know if I should be more rigid with profit taking or more agile, more flexible. But at least 1-to-1. But this movement is like it already did its aggressive move and it went up a little bit. The aggression isn't there for me. So moving stop to break even doesn't hurt my heart. Yesterday hurt my heart. I misjudged my demand zone. That broke my heart. It's coming back, y'all. Let's see if it would have stopped the side if it comes all the way. So we'll call today a break even day. We came back down to our entry. Which I'm okay with. We still kept our capital for the week. We followed our rules. Until we get at a certain profit level, we're going to keep our capital and not risk the full amount on a Friday. Look like it tapped back into our original entry. If it goes up, that's going to piss me off. Not really. Not really. We move this out the way. Entry there, stop there. There's a gap here. From this candle to this candle, there's a gap. The price is coming back to fair value gap. It's just, there's no targets. There's no targets. It's really just no man's land. There's no targets, guys. We're at an all-time high. There's nothing to go off to the left. So really, yeah, just 1-to-1s. Coming back down, breaking into the new zone with this candle. Plus this week. This is a shallow break. This high from this high to this high is pretty much the same. I like to see breaks where it goes out and then comes back. Like here. The last high broke it out and come back for a deep retracement. So it gives you more room to make profit. Even though you can still profit over here. But yeah. The shoulda, woulda, coulda entry was the break of this candle. As soon as it broke that candle, you would have to have confidence enough to enter. Stop still outside the zone. Still wouldn't hit the 1-to-1, but if you leave the break of that candle and use your stop at this, you would hit a 1-to-1. I might consider that. Break of candles, just move it to the previous candle's low. Because you would have got that 1-to-1. Fighter stop. Maybe just have used the lessen the risk. Coming down, and my original entry was here. Stop was moved here. Would it have stopped us out if we stayed in? I don't trade fair value gaps, but if you did, this gap right here, if you did, if price respects this gap and doesn't go from outside of it, that could be another entry if you trade fair value gap, but I don't trade them. I use them as targets versus as entries. And it's not a part of our plan, so we have to stick to the plan. But I like to just go over things that are happening in my head that happens in people's head, different from different strategies. Like I need to unlearn this because I need to stick to my strategy and be consistent. But I see these things all the time. Thanks, ICT, but I see them now all the time. So it's like, it's in the back of my head, but this is not a strategy for this pair. Well, for people who do are aware of fair value gaps, this could be an entry because it broke structure to the upside, tracing into a fair value gap, and a bullish engulfing would be ideal. Because it looks like it's respecting that gap. Mm-hmm. Top of that, top of that. These are your gaps. This is your gap. We live, baby. This is where it happens. Be 10:30. I'm coming out the week with a green, y'all. Week. Of October 20th through 24th. One win. One loss. Two no trade days. Okay. And oops, I put two. I could swear I put two. Come on now. And one right even. That's the week. That's the week. Look like it's getting to original stop. Loss. But could definitely just pull back into the zone and still go up. Which you can look for second entry. Price will let you know, especially if it comes way down here and peaks his head to the bottom of the zone. We made the right decision. See what US 500 doing the same thing. Except US 500 didn't come back down to the original demand zone. Yet it made a new high. So this would be your demand zone. It would have prevented you from entering a trade because it broke that low. It broke the zone. US 30 made a new high. Never came back down to the zone. Trace never came back down. Made a new high. This would be your zone. New high broke. Came back. Tapped in. Engulfing, but that's way past the zone, so you wouldn't enter there. See if the close of this candle respects this little fair value gap. For those of you who traded, other than that, our stop is still in play. Looking like it's wicking back into the zone, respecting that gap, guys. Put this as our original stop. And then our original entry. Do that yellow. Loss. This was our original stop loss. This was our original entry. Let's make that green instead. Entry. We have no position on. We broke even. Three minutes, 40 seconds on this candle. I'm just sticking around to see if it takes out our original stop. And then I'm off. It's Friday, last work day of the week. And this is why we are doing this, so we don't have to go to a 9 to 5. This is why we stay disciplined. I said green, and they turned that whole thing red. What? Interesting. Man, I can't just do one row green? That's crazy. Oh. Uh-oh. Fair value gap traders. So like it's respecting this gap. 1 minute left on that candle. One minute left on that candle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's jumpy. He's jumpy. Dang. That mug got some go. Those green respected that gap, y'all. Your value gap traders. Then you could take it to this high. Take it to that high, y'all. On a Friday, take it to the high, y'all. Fair value gap. Could have got in on that engulfing. Stop here. I would only target this high. I'm not even talking about this. This is definitely not our strategy or our setup. So, but it's good to take read just in case you were looking for another strategy or another. Yeah, I don't recommend trading two different strategies, but just in case. So it did come back down. If we would have stayed in, now we're at our original entry. I'll take that off. And our original stop was here. Original entry was here. And so if you were to trade the fair value gap and or technically our zone is still set. It just wicked back down. I got two of these. Respected that gap, y'all, and it respected our zone. So we would have stayed in. We would have been, it would have damn near hit our stop though. I would personally, if I did get in on that fair value gap, for those of you who traded, I would take it off here because it is Friday. Giving a great push though. Giving a great push. Great push. Nice little push right here, y'all. We got time. Let's see what it does. See what it does. Again, this is our stats for the week. Profitable week. 1 win, 1 loss, 2 no trade days, and 1 break even day, which was today. Kind of hanging around in this area. It looks like it wants to push higher. We got a lot of rejection into the zone. Y'all can see here. A lot of rejection. Rejection. Can't catch them all, y'all. I think I'm about to hop off at 11. For sure. Just to recap, we entered here. Stop was here. We didn't even get a 1-to-1. We broke even while on the chart. But 11 o'clock, I am hopping off. Yeah, looking slow-mo right now, guys. So I think I'm gonna jump off and call this a week. Profitable week. Not large profits, but nonetheless, we came out in the green. Again, one win, one loss, two no trade days, and one break even day. We still came out profitable. So thanks for tuning in. And then I'll do a weekly review most likely tomorrow. Signing out, y'all.